Hello and welcome to New Mexico Rising. My name is Dan. Yes, this is a very special time of the year. It's between like Christmas and New Year's when there's not a lot of segments for me to put on the air, but I decided to put together like a best of show, which is some of my favorite segments with some of my favorite guests that we've had on the program. This is the set. As you can tell, there's like a brick wall, a curtain, and that's Christian. Hey, Christian. We're on the air. Oh! No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. This is Christian. He's one of our producers on the program. He takes phone calls in the morning, talks with all the producers from across the country. He lines me up with interviews. He's also an actor, which is kind of cool. Yes, no, we're going to promote you because you help out with the show every week. He produces this show here at New Mexico Rising, helps out with it, and then he also acts on the side and is in major movies. So you might see this face multiple times. If you ever see a homeless guy in a movie, that's his look, that's his style, you'll see it. And coming up, we have a couple of movies that he's going to be in and we'll be promoting in 20... Okay, I could say it? I was trying not to say it, but...
You can say it.
All right, I'm allowed to say Destroy All Neighbors, one of the movies that he was in. We're going to be...
Star with Alex Winters.
Yes, with Alex Winters. You might remember him from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. He is the main star in it, but...
Jonah Ray.
And Jonah Ray?
And Jonah Ray.
All right. That's Christian Calloway hanging out with us, and we're going to be talking about that. Plus, there's another movie that we're going to be interviewing. We're interviewing the director, and it's not even on this show. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but coming up, we're going to be talking about The People's Joker. We're going to be interviewing the director, and he was in that as well.
I'm Dr. Crane, Scarecrow.
Dr. Crane, Scarecrow from The People's Joker. So he's going to be in that, and we got the clearance to talk about that one as well because I'm supposed to be booking coming up in a couple of weeks with directors and other members of that movie. So check it out. Christian Calloway, actor, producer, New Mexico Rising style. Hey, today's show was all about some of my favorite segments, and that's all happening right here on New Mexico Rising. All right, so one of my most nerve-wracking interviews this year on New Mexico Rising is this upcoming one. It's with Diane Keaton. Yes, how often do you get to sit down and chat with Diane Keaton? Honestly, I was sitting in this room, like this waiting room, to be able to chat with her via Zoom for about an hour and a half leading up to this point. So I was talking to my crew, I was talking to the people that were in the room with me, and all of a sudden she pops up on my screen as I'm saying that I was so nervous to talk about it, and that's how the whole thing began. So check it out. This is my interview with Diane Keaton. You have no idea how nervous I am right now. I am like,
nervous.
I'd never
You're
get nervous.
You're
Yes.
nervous. What about
Yes.
me? I'm more nervous.
Are you?
So
That's
I
good.
win.
That's
I
good.
win the nervous case.
I keep telling people, hey, I got Diane Keaton. I'm going to talk to her on Monday. They're like,
God,
why would you
spare
want
me.
to talk to you? And I'm like, good point. Good point.
No way. No
I think
way.
they're all just messing with me, but I think that's all part of the charm. All right, I'll start this off.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I like how the beginning is going. I was going to start off and say, I love coming of age stories. I love stories that are like people trying to figure out their sex life and coming to age. And a lot of the times it's usually like college kids. But
But
this
let me
time
ask
it's a
you
little
something.
different.
Is there no sex life when you're old?
That's the thing.
Because
Is that
you're the one that's saying sex life. You're telling me, yeah, what is the age there? What?
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this is in the same vein as all of those coming of age movies, and I was too dumb to even think about it until I started watching. I'm like, this is just a coming of age movie, and this is awesome. As a 42-year-old man that's sitting there to watch on, okay, I got to watch the book club. I watched all of them I watched both of them this weekend in a row, and I was actually thrilled. I laughed. I even cried in moments, and I just realized that this is just a cute, fun series that I was missing out on, and it was all my own fault. So I have to say thank you guys for making this and putting it together, and such an incredible crew and cast, and a brand new director, Bill Holderman. He had to step in and with all these actors. I think I see them both as one big movie. That's what happened this weekend because I saw them both back to back.
You're interesting.
I'm trying to be interesting.
You
in some
are.
way.
You are. What do you
All right. As a person that has worked with all of these amazing directors, you had to coach him a little bit to get through his first film, the first book club. How was it working with him again on book club 2? And How did that work?
Oh, everything was smooth. It worked well. It worked very well. Very well. He had a good time. He was great.
Oh,
I don't know what
excellent.
else to say.
Yeah, okay. I told my mom that I was going to interview you, and she was like,
Oh, let's talk about your mom. I'm interested in that.
all right. No, that's the whole point, is that
Yeah.
she, her husband of many years just passed away a few months ago.
Oh,
and this is all
right.
just like, and that was my dad. And I was telling her I'm going to interview Diane Keaton. She's a huge movie fan. And out of the one movie, she said, I loved her in that movie, Baby Boom. And I had no idea what she was talking about. Like, what, Baby Boom? She was like, yeah, it's an amazing movie. She was this really important businesswoman that had her act together. And then someone, one of her family members has, she gets a baby, and then she has to like change her life to be both a mom, but still.
That's one of my earliest. And you know who was the director of that?
Who's
Nancy
that?
Myers.
Who?
Nancy Myers.
Oh, Nancy Myers. Sorry.
It was, she was, I mean, she and her husband, they really made that movie. That really was a change for me in my life. It was great. And they were really good. Nancy in particular. I know Nancy. I love her.
And for a few minutes, she was just completely gushing about how that movie inspired her and changed her life, and said, like, because she had a baby in this movie and she was some business person, nobody believed in her, but she still did her thing and was strong. And I was like, and she went on gushing for a few minutes about this movie that I've never heard of. And I'm sorry, but like, I had to tell you the same story. I was like, I wish I was recording you right now. I'd play it for Diane and just have give her that feeling that you're telling stories that a lot of people connect with. And even with the book club.
You're interesting. Let's just get real. Let's get real. And your mom sounds great.
I'm trying. Is that a bad thing? I feel bad.
It's great.
Okay.
No,
okay,
really great.
Okay, good.
I love it. You're great.
So how was your trip to Italy? Or
my trip to Italy? Fabulous. Fabulous.
That's what I would be like. Book club.
Have you been to Italy? Have you been to Italy?
I've only been to like LA and some Colorado stuff. I need to start traveling more out of the world.
Yeah, I think
I've been to Scotland. It's been fun. Yeah.
Go to Italy.
Yeah. Do you have a book club that you joined on your own, or a group of friends? Because I know you.
Well, I don't really have friends. I have no friends.
You have no friends?
No, I'm lying. I have some friends, but I don't go to clubs or, hang out with a lot of people that are women. That I don't have that. But I have friends. I have women friends. Mm-hmm. Will you apologize and say, yes, Diane, of course you have so many nice friends. I
believe that you have a ton of friends, and I would love to be your friend. I'd even join a book club with you. I'd read 50 Shades of Grey and a half with you.
You're nuts. I'm going to call your mom. I'm calling your mother. I'm calling her.
You could. I'll give you her number, and then she'll be like, who is this?
Give me the phone number, and I'll call her and tell her what I think.
Well, thank you. Do you know what? I'm gushing because all of my questions just crashed. I knew that was going to happen when I got on here. Diane Keaton, I'm nervous. I'm like talking to one of the most wonderful humans on earth in film, and
You're interesting.
Dan, we're out of time. We gotta wrap this up.
All right, it looks like they're kicking me out. I'm sorry, Diane. I had all these questions, but just like my brain exploded when I started talking to you. I didn't know where to begin. Thank you. I love you. You're an icon of cinema. Thanks for joining me this morning. Check out Book Club, The Next Chapter. It is in theaters now. Has Diane Keaton, Jane Fonda, Mary Steenburgen, Candice Bergen, Andy Garcia, Don Johnson, Craig T. Nelson, and many more. If you haven't seen the first Book Club, go back and watch that one as well. They're both two cute movies that have basically four friends come together and tell their stories, and their bond is just really fun and cute. So definitely check out Book Club, The Next Chapter. It's in theaters now.
Goodbye.
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 Another one of my favorite interviews this year was an interview with Mr. LL Cool J himself. And I was really excited because I was a huge fan. So if you notice this intro, I write as many subtle jokes and references to some of his music, his albums, his titles, some of the lyrics of his songs. And I kind of put it in there as like a fun homage tribute to him. If you're a big LL Cool J's fan, you'll know what I'm saying. And I'm surprised. No, I'm not surprised. LL knew what I was talking about. So here it is, LL Cool J interview. I can't control myself. And I don't know if I can say this on morning television, but I'm the type of guy to say, Our next guest is hard as hell. Ladies love him, and I can't decide to call him the greatest of all time or a phenomenon. He's someone that that reminds me of why I can't live without my radio, and I'm making so many references. It just seems like I'm thinking about pink cookies in a plastic bag getting crushed by buildings. But before he says forget about it, let's welcome to the show, Mr. Smith. I mean, Mr. James Todd Smith, or Mr. LL Cool J.
What's
Welcome
up?
to the show, my friend.
Thank you. That was cool. That was slick, man.
Hey, as you can tell,
slick.
I'm a huge fan. I've been working at local hip-hop radio since like 99. So I got to give a shout out to the team over at 101.3 The Hustle. They let me hang out with them and kick with them. So you're bringing a big show to San Diego Casino on August 27th. Rakim, Big Boy, DJ Jazzy Jeff, The Roots. What the heck is this? You're blowing my mind with all these names, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. And what's really amazing about it is it's one set all night long. In other words, the Roots Band, DJ Z-Trip, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and all of us artists are performing as the night goes on. So once we start, we don't stop. It's not like Rakim is going to do a set and go away and then Big Boy's going to do a set. No. It's LL Cool J's on stage, Rakim's on stage, Big Boy's on stage, Bone Thugs on stage, Z-Trip's on. Like, it's going to be like the ultimate hip-hop experience. You know what I'm saying? Like, not like normal tours. Most of the time when these tours come through, people kind of do one at a time, one artist at a time. It's not like that. We're all on stage together. It's going to be crazy.
So how did this whole thing come about? Like, what happened?
Yo, we did the Grammys, man, and performing, and the rest was history. We just, me and Quest talked about it. Me and his team talked about it. My team talked about it, and we said, let's take this thing on the road. And the rest is history. I've made some phone calls, put together a great lineup of people that just want to rock, and there's going to be special guests as well. So there's always surprises. So it's going to be crazy, man. It's going to be crazy.
So this tour highlights and brings some of the like greatest hip hop artists in the same way your Rock the Bells radio on Sirius XM does. Can you share any like behind the scenes insights on how you like produce and plan this show? Do you just like roll through your contacts and be like, hey, you win? How does that work?
It kind of works like that. It kind of works like who would I love to see? It kind of works like, who's available that I think really could rock, that we can all rock together and make it crazy. It's a lot of different, there's a lot of different ways that we approach it. But ultimately, I was just thinking, okay, I want to go on the road. I want to do it with the Roots because I think it'll be curated on another level. I want us all to be on stage at once. And let me see who's around. Let's see who wants to get down. And the rest is history. Here we are, man. The force, frequencies of real creative energy. And that's the thing, too. I wanted to bring a lot of creative energy to the actual show. So the presentation itself is very creative as well. How we do it, how it's executed, how we present the music. It's going to be crazy, man. Different, very unique and new for people. So this is one of those, in the 50th anniversary of hip hop, this is one of those shows that you don't want to miss. You don't want to tell people that, I had a shot and didn't. Like, this is the one to go to. Trust me on that.
I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
Okay, I was listening to Kevin Hart's Heart to Heart, and he had an interview with Dr. Dre, and they talked about some of like the Dream collabs, but everybody asks about Dream collabs. But Dr. Dre started revealing that there was a couple of big name collabs that he turned down, including like Prince and Michael Jackson. He said he didn't know what he like could do with people that he admired so much. So you could either answer who are your dream collabs question, but everybody does that. But was there anybody that you didn't get to collab with, and why?
Not really, man. I pretty much work with everybody that I ever wanted to work with. And, anybody that I didn't get to work with, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an artist, I'm just happy to be doing what I'm doing. And, I'm good.
No, I'm just asking that because it seems like your whole, like, your radio station is all about, like, bringing artists together. The show is about bringing artists together. And, like, that's why I was just wondering if there was anybody that would, like, that just kind of missed the mark somewhere. But that's all I was just wondering.
Well, there's a lot of artists that, for one reason or another, we didn't get together. Sometimes maybe it was a song that I didn't like or they didn't like. Maybe they didn't like what we were looking to do, or it might have been availability. There's a lot of different reasons why it doesn't happen. Maybe the artist wanted to do it, management felt different. Like, there could be a lot of different reasons. It doesn't always have to be just creative differences or just like availability. It's always a million reasons, but nah, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
There's no one out there that I'm like waking up in the morning like, wow, I want to work with that person. I mean, I got the new album coming out. I got some cool collaborations on it. And I'm very pleased with who I got on the record. So nah, I'm not, nah.
I'm good. That's good. LL,
Yeah, I'm good.
I'm excited for the show. It's gonna be an amazing show. Well, I have one final question. One of my friends asked me to ask you because we've been debating it. Who did Mama say to knock out, and did you?
Well, if Mama said knockout, I was talking about competition, and I definitely did that for sure. It went very well.
Well, thank you for hanging out with me this morning. You got to check out the show. It's at Sandia Casino on August 27th. It has Rakim, Big Boy, Bone Thugs and Harmony, The Roots, DJ Jazzy Jeff. This is going to be, and LL Cool J, but this is going to be one hell of a show. So definitely check it out.
One set, and it's one set. Remember, it's one set all at once. It's going to be a whole nother level. Crazy.
I'm in. That's the ultimate group on stage at once. I'm ready to see this, man.
Let's go.
All right. Thank you very much. That's LL Cool J hanging out with you right here on New Mexico Rising. Thank you, bud.
Peace.
Another one of my favorite interviews this year was with Adam Scott. We kind of cleared the air because he photobombed me once over at the Critics' Choice Awards, and we got to talk about it. Here's a little bit with Adam Scott. So, you know, sometimes you go to work each and every day. Wouldn't it be nice to just kind of forget everything that happens for at least the 8 hours that you're there and then go home and just kind of live your life? Well, that may not actually be a good thing. In the new TV series Severance, it's all about that. And today we have Adam Scott with us to tell us about the new show that's available on Apple TV+. How are you, Adam?
Good. How you doing, Dan?
Doing
Thanks for having me.
Doing fabulous. Hey, I actually ran into you this past Sunday over at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Oh, great.
I got this fabulous photo of me and Ben Stiller, and in the background, I get a shot of you kind of scowling at me, but I could tell.
Really?
Yeah, it's really kind of funny, but the next photo I have is you laughing, so I think you kind of did it on purpose just to mess with us as you photobombed us.
Maybe so, yeah.
So, hey, I've checked out your new series. It's a great show. Can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, it takes place in a world where there's a technology. You can get a chip inserted in your brain, so your work life and your home life are completely separate. You don't know what you do at work when you're out in the world, and then when you're at work, you have no idea who you are out in the world. So you have two separate lives that you live. And it kind of goes from there. And this big company, Lumen, that invented the technology and uses it on their workers is where the show takes place.
I'm absolutely captivated by the show already. It's just so eerie.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, it's so eerie. It's so weird. It has like dark moments and still kind of funny moments in it. Can you kind of tell us, like when working on the show, what are some of the things that you guys kind of work through to try to create that feeling and experience for us viewers at home?
Yeah, I mean, starting a show from scratch is always challenging because you have to find the tone. You have to figure everything out as you're going, as you're making it. And, while we were making the show, we had no idea if it was going to work or not. And we all felt like, this is really fun and special and unique, but it's really weird. Like, is anyone going to watch this? So the fact that it did connect when it came out and people are into it and critics really liked it, it's just all, we're all just so grateful and so happy that, that it's connected as much as it has.
I think the reason why it's connecting is because a lot of us do go to that 9-to-5 job, and we find ourselves we find ourselves a little kind of loving moments, but hating moments. But this movie or this show really kind of shows that there are the times that you have fun with your coworkers, and it seems okay, and then it just has that awkward feeling of like, hey, yeah, it is work. We do have to do this. So it kind of reflects at home, despite being such a high sci-fi drama.
Yeah, and I think also the pandemic really, pushed people to re-examine work and their relationship to it, and so I think that resonated with people as well.
Yeah, the more I watch this show, the more I want to go back into my office and just be frustrated. I don't know if that's a good thing for me, but what else do you have on the docket? What do you have that you're also working on and coming up soon?
Well, we have a new season of Party Down coming out on February 24th on Starz, which is great. It's been 13 years since season 2. So we're all really excited about that. So that's coming out really soon.
Well, thank you very much for joining me this morning. I actually voted for you for the Critics' Choice Awards. I was kind of upset that you didn't win, but I really loved your performance in Severance.
Thanks, Dan.
And all of the good work that you did. So congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Good
Appreciate
work.
that.
You're welcome, man. All right, but we'll talk to you soon. Check out Severance. It's available now on Apple TV+. Adam Scott, thank you for joining me this morning.
Thanks, Dan.
As winter wraps its chilly embrace around us, it's not just the cold weather we need a brace for. The seasonal surge of colds, flu, and the less talked about but equally significant RSV looms large. Today, we're diving into the heart of this health challenge with Dr. Natasha Bhuyan, a respected primary care provider from One Medical, with prevention tips to the latest in virtual care solutions. She's here to guide us through the peak season for respiratory illnesses. Welcome to the show, Dr. Bhuyan.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so what are some preventative measures we could take as we head into this cold and flu season?
Well, you are right. We are in the thick of cold and flu season. It feels like everyone around me has the cold right now. Here's what I tell people. Make sure that we are all frequently washing our hands and avoid touching our face, because that is one way that viruses spread. The other thing I tell people is if you are sick, it's really important to stay at home from work. It's for 2 reasons. Number 1, we want you to rest and recover. And number 2, we don't want you spreading those viruses to other people. And then if you are sick, make sure that you're coughing and sneezing into a Kleenex or into your arm, not into the air on other people. It's also a good time to disinfect surfaces, because that's another way that viruses tend to spread. Here's another tip. It's not too late to get the flu vaccine. You know, the flu vaccine takes about 2 weeks to work. And so if someone gets vaccinated now, it will cover them through the peak of flu season, which generally tends to be around January and then throughout February.
So what are some cold and flu RSV symptoms, and how can we treat them?
You know, they look very similar. So cold, flu, and RSV, people tend to have cough, congestion. Sometimes with RSV, it impacts kids more, and they'll have a bit more wheezing. With flu, people get body aches and fevers and chills. So the symptoms are very similar. You know, the best treatment is really letting your immune system do its job. Rest, recover, eat healthy, stay hydrated with electrolyte-based drinks. You know, I always reach for zinc and vitamin C at the first sign of having a cold or flu, just because I know that that can shorten the duration of the virus. There's other home remedies that people can try in addition to over-the-counter meds. Steam inhalation is great because it helps break up that mucus. Honey and gargling with warm salt water, it's great because it's soothing for the throat.
So when should we consider seeking medical advice or like visiting our healthcare providers?
I do tell people, look out for a few red flag symptoms. So if you've got high fevers, that's a good reason to seek medical attention. If you have things like chest pain, trouble breathing, shortness of breath, even confusion or dizziness, those are all red flag reasons to get medical care. You know, another thing people often don't think about, if your symptoms are getting worse rather than getting better, that's also a reason to seek medical attention, because that might mean that virus is now turning into a pneumonia. You know, for a lot of people, it might be hard to get into their own primary care doctor, or it's expensive to go to urgent care or the emergency room. So a great way to get care, Amazon right now has a cool new benefit for Amazon Prime members. They can join One Medical for just $9 a month or $99 a year. And with that $9 a month, people can access 24/7 on-demand virtual care, so they can speak to a licensed healthcare clinician. We can create a healthcare plan that's tailored for you. We can prescribe medications if you need medications, so people are able to get care and get well quickly so they can enjoy the holiday season.
That's really kind of cool. So $9, you can just get any healthcare that you need as quickly as possible. Not any healthcare, but healthcare assistance as quickly as possible.
Yes, yeah, so for the $9, it's virtual on-demand care. So people can do things like video chats, they can message our clinicians, and we also have a thing called Treat Me Now, where people can get treated for a lot of common conditions like allergies or skin rashes. They can send photos. And so that is virtual on-demand care just for $9 a month. Here's another thing. I noticed that when we get sick, it's not often just us. It's the family members, the people around us. And so for people who join One Medical, they're able to add on up to 5 family members for just $6 a month if they're Amazon Prime members. And then your whole family can get that 24/7 on-demand care, video chats for anything you need.
Can they like order blood tests locally and things like that, or how's that?
Yeah, so with virtual care, we can often diagnose many things virtually. So sometimes people might have COVID because they did a COVID test at home. We can treat them with Paxlovid. If they've got flu symptoms and we think they have the flu, we can always empirically treat with antiviral medications. And then if we want to order additional testing, we can order labs, and then people can take those lab slips and go to a lab nearby them. So there's actually a lot of care we can do virtually, and we learned that especially during COVID.
That's incredible. And it keeps it simple. All right, Dr. Bouillon, thanks for joining me this morning. Where can we go for more information about that?
Yes, for more information, you can visit health.amazon.com/prime. Thank you.
Well, thanks for joining me this morning.
Of course, stay safe and healthy.
And that is it for New Mexico Rising. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this year. It was super fun to have you guys be part of the show. If you want to be on it, all you got to do is email us, newmexicorising@gmail.com, and we'll definitely put you onto the program, and you could be hanging out here in the Red Room and talk about some of your business or any cool event that you have going on. Until next week or until next year, that was New Mexico Rising.
Hey Dan, I'm here at Elysium Therapeutics right now. We're getting ready to do a Thai massage pretty soon. This is Ludo, my therapy dog. So I started this business in 2018. I am a licensed massage therapist. I graduated from UTMI, and my specialties are Thai table massage and Ashiatsu.
Valentine, string your magic arrow, pierce it through my heart. Valentine, bring me love and sorrow. It's not fair to leave me in the dark. Every year I write you something different. Every tear's a fight. Maybe I don't deserve it. It's not fair to leave me in the dark. Valentine, I'm so blue. Every time, nothing new.